Good afternoon, Ollie. I hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're feeling good today. Know it's Monday. Got that final week of this training block done with more volume, more work than you've probably ever had to do. Um, Made some adjustments to the program, but looking over the 3 days of training that you've already done from the previous week, you kind of got your full body done in those 3 sessions. So then having a bit of time off, I'm not going to count it as a deload. We're still looking at just kind of getting that progression going on, especially in those first 3 sessions. And there's some slight changes to the last 3 sessions where you should get like a nice gnarly pump in it, and it should be kind of like really just finishing off this training block. Know that once we've got this week done, it'll come into a deload. So no matter, let's say, like how tired you are, if the pumps are slowing down, so you're not feeling quite as full during the training session, understand that that's going to kind of be the case. You've done 8 really hard weeks of some really quite kind of like metabolically demanding stuff, especially around the arms and especially around the legs. Now, that means that into the next training block, when we start playing around with some more of the metabolite work, probably let's even take like your chest. If you wanted to see kind of like how that felt, even just this next week, just maybe on your last set of chest presses or dumbbell presses, just flatten out the bench and quickly rep out. I guarantee you, though, although your triceps aren't going to balloon up as much, you'll probably find your pecs will, because they've not been exposed to some of this really high rep stuff, which is also really nice because then going forward, that then allows us to tackle that later on. I don't think we need that for the next training block, but we'll talk about it going into the deload. I feel like we can just look to, hopefully if the arms are feeling a lot fuller and the legs are feeling a lot bigger as well now, I'd like just for overall growth, I think that would be a really great thing. We've been doing that this last training block, but if we can get some, say, more growth into the shoulders, it's been kind of a bit of a neglected area. Like, not neglected, but we've just kind of put it on the back burner. So if the volume of that starts really going up, fantastic. Same thing with the upper back. So we can start really building in that V taper. Now you've kind of got that, kind of like the legs, the X frame going on. The arms are going to be in a good shape and size. Like, they're going to stay, they're going to keep growing. So let's look at just kind of building the whole upper body. So like chest, shoulders and back. The next block is just going to be really big. We're going to keep the legs the same size. It's just not going to be as much volume. I'm not going to expect you to go in and there be like 3 hard days of legs, or like 2 hard days of legs, 1 easier day. Thinking like 1 probably like hard leg day, and then maybe 2 moderate leg days will be the next way forward. And if you want to kind of back off of doing that, we can just stick to 2 leg days. And then at that point, we've got the growth that we would need to see from this last couple of weeks, which then leaves you with more time to focus on building the upper body. We can look at some other areas, like I said, a bit more shoulder work, a bit more chest, a bit more back work. Where those things haven't been super taxed, it will allow them to have their time to shine, so to speak. You'll also start seeing some of the gains coming through just from where you've done so much work. The body is going to start getting a bit fatigued. As soon as that fatigue levels drops and those muscles are allowed to kind of heal up, actually fully repair, you'll start feeling a lot better, especially like towards the end of that deload week, end of week 1, so in like 2 weeks' time, you'll start seeing a big difference in terms of your physique and things like that. Thanks for letting me know about the missed training sessions last week. Like I said, grand scheme of training, it's not that much of a big deal. You trained your full body. Luckily, it's kind of set out that way, so it wasn't like we did chest one day, back and triceps for whatever reason, say like calves and quads on Wednesday, and we kind of missed out on a lot of muscle groups. You hit everything. So nothing would have detrained in that time. And obviously, like I said, stress is accumulative to everything that comes along. So it's not going to be a case of like, let's just double up on everything, because work and life and things like that did take over. So the body still needs its time to kind of like heal, relax from everything, not just from specifically from training. So be excited going forward. Know that this last week we nail it, we get it done. We go into next week, we can start rejuvenating. And if there's any movements, anything in particular that you would really like to work on, do let me know. Most things will be getting changed around in terms of the actual exercise selection that you've now got on here. Certain things will stay, some things won't. If there's anything in particular that you've really enjoyed doing, example, if you've really liked the deadlift style of the different stances of deadlift, or you prefer using the trap bar over the straight bar, or whether you want to go back to conventional deadlifting, just let me know and I can put it on the sheet of paper. Then you don't have to think, okay, I know I can change that. It just means it's not something you have to kind of have conflicting ideas about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. My man, good luck, have fun, give me a shout if there's any problems. We need to get a training session in soon. Probably not during your deload week, it'll be a bit boring. I go away at the end of this week, so we'll get something in probably in a couple of weeks' time. Come your new training block or something. I'll come along on an evening or at a weekend. So, my man, have fun.